Welcome to the Nightly Rant. I'm Mike.
And I'm Torya.
This is the show where we talk about the awful things that have happened in our day, the awesome things that have happened in our day,
and all the things in between.
Thanks for listening, and we truly hope you enjoy.
Hi everybody, this is Mike, and I just wanted to let you know that this is the second part of a two-part episode. If you missed the first part, you need to go to yogispodcastnetwork.com/TNR74. What the hell is wrong with this guy and his creepy little marketing things? So what does this strange guy call me? You're just a weirdo. I almost fell over and died.
Like typical business shirt.
I'm wearing a button-down shirt and slacks and black shoes.
And you're the weirdo.
And I'm a weirdo. He's dressed like the Vice President of the United States of America, carrying a sign with the ICE hotline, waving it to Catella Avenue. But I'm the weirdo. It's a badge of honor to be called a weirdo by someone that weird.
Now let's be real. It's not like it's a secret to anybody who's listening that I'm Canadian.
Well, that makes you a weirdo.
And that guy screaming about how everybody should go back to their own country got the shit scared out of him by an immigrant.
Yeah.
What? So if you're listening, Mike Pence lookalike, I have a present for you. Send us an email.
Oh my.
It's special. I promise.
Oh my.
I'll even write your name on it. Send us an email.
Look-alike.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I can find this officer's name.
I'm sure you can, and then we'll loudly thank him. Okay. So then what happened? Then racist Santa and Mike Pence were gone. Racist Santa was still like trolling around in the back. And various people came up to you and were like, "Dude, what happened? Tell us." And they had like their camera in your face.
Yeah.
So that was cool and interesting. But then...
Yeah, but the best part was, if you noticed, did you see how I played all those?
Yes.
I played it like the super duper Cliff Notes version. Like, you guys have heard more about what happened than we said to those people with the cameras in their hands. It was just like, some guy, I'm probably going to be on a YouTube channel somewhere.
You are.
My gosh. The kids are going to be embarrassed because their friends are going to be like, I saw your dad on a YouTube channel.
No, he said he was trying to be a YouTube channel.
Oh, God, thank God.
And he's like
that.
mimicking a really well-known YouTube channel.
Got it.
But you'll still be on his YouTube channel. But I don't think he's super well-known. Anyway, so then those two douchebags peace out. And then the crowd kind of thinned a little right about then.
Yeah.
But right about that time, this Asian man, and I only specify that he's Asian because I'm also about to say he has a very thick accent. So now you can picture what he sounds like. And he's getting up there.
Poor guy.
And he's starting to talk. And the racist fucking assholes.
I know who he is.
Hold on a second. Let me finish my sentence because he's not a racist fucking asshole, and that's what I'm talking about.
No wonder. I know why he was so good.
Calm yourself.
Wow.
Okay. The racist fucking assholes are laughing at the way this guy is speaking.
Yeah, right away.
Laughing.
Right away. Making fun of him.
They're making fun of him. They're laughing. I heard people mocking him. And then about, 30 seconds later, they realize that this man speaking is on their side.
Yeah.
And they're cheering for him. Now, I heard somebody behind me ask how you spell hypocrite, yelling at the people on the left. And I would like to inform that person that the way you spell hypocrite is the same way you spell your first name.
Exactly.
Because laughing and making fun at somebody and acting like a fucking racist asshole and then cheering them on because they agree with you is hypocrisy at its finest, and it's disgusting.
Yeah. But hey, let's we've been really negative this whole time. So let's shift gears a little bit and say kudos to the Los Alamitos Police Department.
A+, guys. A+.
Especially Operations Captain Chris Carer.
Wow, he really does.
That guy
really does explain it.
had the patience of a saint. Also, do not forget that he was the officer who threatened to put us in jail if either one of us touched one another. In other words, what he was saying is, I don't give a damn who was at fault. I ain't playing that game. One of you could have enticed the other one to hit you. It doesn't necessarily mean it was that person's fault, so you're both going to jail.
Well, on the same note, not specifically about that officer, I have to say how well the Los Alamitos Police Department handled everything. When the crowd got loud, they got closer, so that they were close enough to handle any situation that came up.
But they allowed the situation to develop organically.
Exactly, and it's the same compliment we gave to the Orange County Sheriff when we were in the riverbed.
Yes.
So it's something in their training, but they executed it flawlessly tonight.
Yes, they did. They were excellent. And that's what I'm talking about even with this captain, you know. He didn't judge me based off of the incident because I think in all reality he knew who the sane person was and who the crazy person was.
Yes.
Because he kind of gave the Mike Pence character and the pervy Santa guy the evil eye for a long time, but kept chatting with me and joking with me. So clearly he knew I wasn't the one at fault in that situation. But I will say this, I have discovered a couple of things. As we were saying, we've talked about how you don't have these kind of experiences, so you can sit on the fence on an issue like this. But then when you have an experience like this where I saw and heard some of the most disgusting, vile, gross, nasty comments.
Let's be real.
Coming from the racist people mostly.
The racist people called our Hispanic friend who was live the entire time
Border gnome.
Border gnome.
Lord
what
in heaven.
Is that?
What
is
hell
wrong,
is wrong
with you?
My God.
If you're listening to this and you're the piece of shit that said that tonight, kindly rethink your life.
But
because you've taken a wrong turn
somewhere. We left
somewhere.
off my good friend, though, that we ended up waiting until we could hear him speak. And that was the college student, Aaron.
Yes.
We did touch on him before.
He's a significant part of the story.
We did touch on him before. But he and I kept chatting, and like we'd make offhand comments to each other like guys do. Like they would say, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then someone would say, oh, now they like the federal government. And then I look at him and I go, when convenient. And then we'd both laugh. And then he would do the same thing at me. They would say something and then he'd say it to me like that. So we were communicating back and forth for a while. And then, I don't know, just poor guy was so polite and standing there and more people were going in front of him. And he could have at any moment, if he wanted to, step in front. That police officer was... That's another thing I like about that police officer. He did not try to be like Iron Fist. He had control over the situation. A perfect example. When Mike Pence and I went at it.
Right.
Mike Pence tried to act like a giant pussy and scream that I was threatening his friend, but the police officer knew that didn't happen. So the police officer, rather than like try to be an iron fist and like, look, I know what happened here. You're going to jail, and you can just go back to where you were. He was like, look, I'm either taking nobody to jail or I'm taking both of you to jail. It's your guys' choice.
Right.
So we backed off of each other.
Right.
He had control.
And then he left.
That's proof.
Like
he
Pence.
had control.
He left.
Okay,
like
but that's proof that he had control, the officer. But at the same time, he wasn't trying to make the line be single file. I mean, he flat out told people when they'd say, where's the line? He'd point left and right. It's right here. However people funnel in.
This gaggle, this is the line.
He was letting the people decide who was going to go in and who wasn't. And it was kind of survival of the fittest.
And for the most part, this is the one thing I'll give to that group of left-wing people. They were very courteous about making sure that fair people from both sides were going in.
Yes.
And they had the opportune staked off spot in front of the door.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. They were very ethical.
I'll give them that.
Yep. I will give them that too.
There's a lot of crazy people there
tonight. Now, that's not to say that the other side wasn't ethical either. We just didn't have direct evidence of that.
Oh,
tonight.
I heard so many racist comments that side of the herd gets
they made
zero
me sick.
ethical from me.
Some of these comments made me want to throw up.
So then we heard our friend talk.
And he was very eloquent.
Yes.
And he named every single council member by name.
Twice.
And then used his friendship with the mayor pro tem's son against the mayor pro tem to get him to rethink, because he said, I hope you understand how those of us of my age will be mourning if this gets passed.
Right.
He spoke very well.
So kudos to him. Kudos to him.
Yes.
But after he spoke, we decided we were going to leave. Because there was not much point in just standing there and getting angrier and angrier listening to the racists. Yeah. Because I would have started something with them again.
Yeah.
It would have been
So then
awful.
we're leaving, and there's a lady from, was it Channel 9 News, right?
I think so.
Yeah, she was from Channel 9 News. And she was interviewing the
pastor.
The rabbi-looking guy with the...
Pastor.
The
Somebody else called him pastor something. That's the only reason I know.
So, he was a pastor. But he was being interviewed by her, and he must have said something that upset this troll lady. And I say she's a troll because I do not believe she lives in that area. And she did later admit that she was from a county that respects the sanctuary state law. So she clearly isn't from Orange County, because she's insinuating that our county won't
right,
respect it. But the long and the short of it is, that lady's going off, and she's got like her phone with the video on and the flash part turned on, like the bright light, the camera light, right? And she's got it pointed at the poor pastor guy. Meanwhile, the poor pastor guy also has the Channel 9 light and camera pointed at him, so he's being blinded. And so the really left-wing lady there said, she could have very well been a troll too, but who knows? She comes up and she has a little LED light in one hand, like a police officer would hold like a gun and a flashlight. Well, she's got it all in one hand. Her video's going, and she takes that light and just boom, she lights up the sky with that thing. And the lady's like a deer in the headlights, and she can't answer any argument. So then this other lady comes to defend her, which was a funny thing in the first place. You do realize like they ganged up 2 or 3 of them on me at one time.
Well, of course.
So then she comes over.
Not sure what they thought they were.
She comes over and she's standing on the wrong side of the no smoking sign. And I point out, well, you know what? You say that you just got finished saying. Her comment was, criminals should be prosecuted no matter how small the crime.
Yes.
And then she goes, now argue your way out of that one. And
remember what he just said. It's very important.
Criminals
no matter how small the crime.
Should be prosecuted no matter how small the crime. That's what her statement was. We are not saying that's what we believe. We are saying that's what she said.
Okay.
So then I notice that she's smoking on the wrong side of the no smoking sign. So I point this out to her that, well, you said that criminals should be prosecuted, so I think you should be prosecuted. Well, this is minor, and it's minor, but you said no matter how small the crime.
Well, and then they tried to go down it's only a citation, it's not jail time. Well, who cares?
Well, if I get a speeding ticket, if I committed a crime, yeah, you have, you dumbass. You end up in criminal court when you have a speeding ticket. It's a criminal court judge that hears the case. So yes, you do, you idiot.
That guy was special too.
So essentially, here comes Aaron again. All of a sudden, who do I feel next to me?
Your back.
He's right there, and he destroys her with an argument that he had discussed with me in line. Which was
A+.
He talked about in the 60s how the laws, he says, are all laws good? Or can there be bad laws?
There's bad laws.
And then she said, there can be bad laws, but then you change them. And he goes, exactly. So he goes, change them like they did in the 60s when they weren't allowed to sit at the counter at the soda shop. But the black guys did it anyway.
Right.
Well, they were, that was civil disobedience. They were protesting to change the law. Well, yeah, exactly. And that's what these people are doing.
Protesting to change the
law. To change the law. Check and mate.
Both sides.
Yeah.
Protesting to change the law.
Yeah. Check and mate. Stop yelling at each other. Let each other be heard. Let each other be heard. You know what? That's what I would want. If I was sitting on the board of supervisors, I would want to let the both sides be heard. And I don't want to hear that side try to kill that side and that side try to kill that side. And you're a politician that wants to get on the city council, and that's why you made that comment about the mayor pro tem, blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Tell me how you feel about the issue.
In this country, no one voice holds any more power than another voice.
Correct.
And I think that was the most disgusting thing tonight.
Yeah.
When people would be screaming at the person talking that they needed to shut up, they needed to sit down, they needed...
Yes,
the
I
lady
agree
behind
with
me
you.
yelling, time! No, I'm sorry, but the city clerk was keeping time just fine. They had a clock. It knows how to count.
Thank you for bursting my eardrum.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I figured they'd already
Fucking can't hear out of my right ear anymore.
I'm not even on your right side.
It came this way. Anyway.
All right.
Look here, lefty.
All right.
The whole point of all of this, like that we've rambled for like 45 minutes so far.
I'm really mad, okay?
Yes, we're pissed. We're
Pissed.
really pissed.
And disgusted.
Because you know what? I'm proud that I live in a country where we're allowed to take different sides and protest and not be thrown in jail because of it. And where the police officers respect that to the point that I asked the police officer, did you hear me ask him how law enforcement feels about it?
Yes.
And he gave a very political answer.
Because there was a news camera on him at the same time,
what
too.
he said was, maybe I got on the news there. That'd be good.
You might have.
What he said was, we don't care. We have no opinion. If they say no, we're going to follow the sanctuary state law, then we'll follow the state law. Yeah. But if they say yes, we have to report to the federal government, then we'll report to the federal government. In other words, they were saying they were going to enforce the law the way it was written.
You know what's interesting? I was thinking about it too. It's probably no different for them. Either way, it's just these are the 6 steps you follow to do something. Like, it probably doesn't matter at all process-wise for them.
Probably not. It doesn't take any longer, I'm sure. And it's probably all done via the computer.
Right. And in reality, that's the way you...
As you're going through the form and you're entering the person, you see that there's a hold and there's a notify ICE box. Click. I guarantee you it's something like that.
Right. Or even a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the maximum it would be.
So,
but still, asinine.
But this is what's disgusting, is people acting that way, basically treating other human beings. That's what I told Pervy Santa. I pointed at him and I said, you're a human being, she's a human being, he's a human being. Start acting like a human being.
That is what you said. That was a solid statement.
It sure was.
I can't.
And that fucking asshole tells me that I'm a racist.
And I'm a racist. Hold on.
I'm a racist for calling him a human being. Now I'm a racist because human being is a race now?
Let's be real.
Kiss my butt, racist Santa.
I'm a racist because I told him, a white guy, and in case you people didn't know, I am super white. I, a white woman, told a white guy not to tell a Hispanic guy to go back to his country and learn to speak English. And I'm the racist?
Yes. And
what?
But this is something that I was just sitting here thinking about, you know? We're pretty sure that we know the name of Pervy Racist Santa, but we have not confirmed that. So therefore we will not disclose his name. But if you are Pervy Racist Santa, send us an email at info@yogispodcastnetwork.com. Y'all should know how to spell yogi by now. I've said it enough. I'm done spelling yogi.
No spelling lesson tonight?
No more. I actually thought about recording the email address, me saying the email address, and then every night when we would get to that part, I would just cut it out and drop that in there.
That would be funny. That would be really funny.
I should make it. Remember what I did to Deborah's voice? I should make one of my voice like that, saying, Yogi's Podcast Network.com or something like that. It would be funny.
It would. Anyway.
Yogi thinks it would be funny. He's fast asleep.
I really do feel like we have a lot of negativity coming from tonight. But I will say the one thing that is a positive.
Stressed me out.
The one thing that's a positive is that you've taken in enough of other viewpoints to give yourself a kind of new and more accurate perspective on what's going on.
Very well said. New and accurate. Very well said.
Because your perspective didn't change, but your perspective shifted.
Okay, to me it's like this. Person witnesses a crime and they say it was a tall white guy that ran by.
Okay.
He did it. Then the next person, there is the same perspective, okay, but it's more in focus. It was a tall white guy wearing black jeans and a white T-shirt.
Okay.
Well, same perspective.
So
it's still a tall white
Simpson.
guy. It's still a tall white guy. Yeah. Still a tall white guy with yellow skin. Haven't gotten there yet, but we'll have that. It's a tall white guy.
Well, you already said he was white.
So that's the same in both scenarios.
Okay.
It's just more in focus. You
Right.
can find this guy now. I mean, come on. Hey, officer, it was a tall white guy. Go find him.
That's
good
helpful.
luck with that. Was it that guy? Maybe. Was it that guy? Maybe. Maybe it was that guy. Maybe it was that guy. Maybe it was that guy. Like a billion people it could be.
Right.
Ridiculous. So you bring it into focus.
So your perspective and my perspective, like
Came more into focus.
I've never experienced racism like that before, ever.
No, that's what I said to you in the car. I was like, okay, I'm going to tell you something, okay? This is going to affect some people, what I'm about to say. But it really affected me. Like, it smacked me hard in the face. I keep saying this, that until you've experienced something, you can't truly understand it.
Okay.
Which then, unfortunately, gives you the ability to kind of set it up on the shelf and not think about it.
Right.
Okay, well, that pastor guy spoke about what happened to the Jewish people and how people stood by and watched and said, oh, it'll never happen. It'll never happen.
Right.
That hit me in the face, like really hard.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I can see both sides of the issue. But
It's
when
an
you
interesting
hear,
place to be
but
in,
when
isn't
you,
it?
yeah, but when you hear something like that, you kind of start to lean in that direction.
Yeah.
But okay, we'll finish our conversation about the circle that gather around us because we haven't yet left the place. And that lady that came over with the cigarette,
Oh, Jesus. This bitch.
she basically believed the same thing I did, but was reading me the riot act.
She was screaming at you and screaming at you and screaming at you.
Until I cracked and screamed at her.
And even then, she continued to scream at you, but she had no idea that her perspective and your perspective were
Were the
parallel.
same. Yeah.
I wouldn't say they're the same.
Yeah, but
because she
same
was a little
pathway.
Racist.
She was a lot racist.
racist.
And
But
that's where we part ways.
yikes. But they were parallel in that aspect. Like, but she couldn't even be bothered. She couldn't. This is the point I was trying to make when you said I burst your eardrum. She couldn't even be bothered to take the 30 seconds it would have taken to listen to your perspective before she flew off the fucking handle and started screaming at you. What?
Yeah, you're right.
She couldn't even take a minute to educate herself because she's an uneducated wad.
But okay, so here's what I come away from this with, because we could talk about this forever, and we may end up having to split this into 2 episodes, which would be okay with me.
It'd be okay with me too.
But I think that's what we're probably going to do, split this. So if you're hearing this as a part 2 or a part 3. That's why. Because it's an important issue that clearly bothered us.
Right.
So we're kind of focusing it in, and I'm sorry that if you felt we were rambling. I'll do my best to fix the rambling when I clean this up later. But we're just passionate about this tonight, and it's taking us all over the place. And that shows you how much it hit us in the heart, because some of the stuff that I saw tonight, I'm sorry, people from both sides, should not have been done or said.
Right.
It was disgusting and vulgar.
Look, there was no need for somebody to yell from the left side, all you stupid white people. There was no need for that. Why are you bringing race into it? Just like there was no need for racist Santa to say what he said to the Hispanic guy standing in front of us. There was absolutely no need for that. There was absolutely no need for the laughing at the little Asian man when he was speaking just because he had a heavy accent.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
It was disgusting. And you know what made it even more disgusting to me than the actual, because some people would say, you know what, I hear that kind of stuff all the time. But here's what made it disgusting to me. Remember what I said to you so far in the last 2 years has been one thing that I read that haunts me and makes me want to throw up. To think that there's someone out there in society that not only would say about what I'm about to tell you, but would put their name to it. And it had to be that they were well known, because they had like 1,400 friends. They had a ton of friends.
Okay.
So just based off of Catfish, that was a real fucking profile. Okay? Might not have been their real name, but people know who that is enough to friend them.
Gotcha.
Okay? It'd be like if you went around and said, hey, I just created a profile called Yogi Bear, and it's got a picture of a guy there who looks a lot like whatever, Matthew McConaughey, and then if that friend requests you, that's me. Somebody knows who these people. A lot of people know who this person is.
Right.
Okay. So publicly says, I know the solution to the homeless problem. We get a bunch of those containers from the docks, we load them in, close the door, lock it, and dump them in the middle of the ocean. Problem solved. And I'm like, oh my God, how does some disgusting piece of humanity say that about human beings? That is disgusting and vulgar, man. And so that was the worst thing I'd heard before tonight.
But you're forgetting about something we heard that was almost equally as bad, but along the same lines. At the Fountain Valley homeless meeting, when the guy stood up,
give them all drugs so they'll kill themselves.
He informed everybody that the country of China gives all of their homeless people all the free drugs they want so that they'll just overdose and die. So we should do that now. That's almost as bad as shipping container guy. I just wanted to remind you of that.
Yeah, but again, in a public setting, somebody has the balls to say that. This is what frightens me.
Right?
That frightens me, because you know what? I'm going to say something. It's true. Dictators come when you take the eye off the ball.
Right.
When you think, oh, I believe everything they say, blah, 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 blah. Okay? So, like, I wanted to make sure that Alyssa knew that the comment that her history teacher made about getting rid of terms for presidents was a joke.
Right.
And it wasn't a serious thing. Because, you know me, I like accuracy in my reporting.
Right.
I'm not biased one side or the other.
Her history teacher is.
Exactly. And that's what pisses me off. And it shapes kids' minds. And so as a parent, that's why we have to talk to our kids. Because we need to be able to give them a better perspective. And I'm telling you guys, I don't care if you're to the left or to the right. You have to give the kids the full spectrum.
Or at least another perspective.
And you can even say, here's the full spectrum. The side I agree with is, that's fine with me. But give them the full perspective so that they can make up their mind. Because that's the only way. Why wouldn't you give them the full perspective? If your way is the, quote, right way in your mind,
then giving them the full perspective
shouldn't scare you, because your way is the right way.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, probably 90% of all kids, when they hear, here's the whole deal, do you believe this? And I believe this. Or 90% of them are going to go along with what the parent believes.
Right.
They just are. And it shapes their thinking. Because then they start hearing what the parent says about different things. Proof of that. Do you think Alyssa gives one crap about the Denver Broncos?
No.
But she sure knows every single game they win or lose.
She also doesn't give a crap about the Dodgers, but she sure knew every game they win or lose.
Because of me.
Right.
There you go.
So anyway, we ended tonight off on a bit of a joke. While you were arguing with the angry lady, I decided that I really didn't feel like allowing racist Santa to stand behind me. That seemed really unsafe.
Yeah.
So I went and stood with our police officer friend that we gave the shout out to earlier. Because he was standing there. Because the police officers were circling the issue. And because he was like, quote unquote, on some kind of alert, I asked permission to stand with him. And he said, of course it was okay. So then I was kind of chatting with him. And I made the offhand comment, because it's California and Californians seem to hate it when it rains. At least it's not raining. And he kind of laughed and went, well, actually, I think I'd like it better if it was raining. Because then none of these people would be here. And so then you broke up your issue with that lady. You come over. We're about to leave. I lean over and I say to the officer, I hope it starts raining soon. And then we left. And so that was the end.
You know, I heard you say that. You hope it starts raining soon. I was like, what the hell is that about? Like, why is he saying that? That's a weird thing to say. Like, why would you do that?
Now you know. And you know it was funny.
Yeah.
Police officer man laughed.
Yeah. Well, like I said, that particular cop had a tough job because he was letting people in. But like I said, he let it grow organically. If you wanted to stand there, if you were going to be weak and not ever push your way in, he would have let you be the last person to go in. He wasn't about to be like, no, this guy is next. He's been standing here for 10 minutes. No, if you were willing to stand there for 4 hours, he didn't give a shit. As long as people went in an orderly fashion, the way he asked, we were good. And that's how a seasoned veteran of anything should work.
So now
you don't sweat it.
Now we'll take the night and tomorrow to ruminate on what we've learned and match it to more conclusions, because I'm sure there's 100 things we haven't even thought of yet.
It's so maddening. It is so maddening. The disgust that I have after what I saw. And you know, there's a lot of people who I'm going to need to go back and have certain conversations over with now that I've had this kind of experience, because
your perspective is different.
I've been involved in these kind of conflicts before. Never have I seen the kind of disgusting display of behavior that I saw. And that's what I hear a lot of people say, and I always say, I haven't experienced that.
Right.
But now I can be right with them on that. Right with them.
Yep.
How disgusting it is. Because it made me want to puke.
That guy that came up to you at Farmer Boys when you were chatting with Deborah.
Yeah. He's one of those guys.
Just on the other side of the equation.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't even talk about it anymore tonight. I'm gonna hurl because I'm just so disgusted. So we should ruminate on it.
I'm gonna send the captain an email.
And we'll come back to it tomorrow.
All right. Well, I can ruminate. I like ruminating.
Yeah.
It's very roomy when you ruminate.
I'm gonna eat my leftover pizza.
Oh, yeah. We should have pizza. Well, guys, we're good
On that note.
On that note.
Good night, everyone.
Hasta la bye-bye.
Hi everyone, this is Mike, and I truly hope you enjoyed this show. You're able to subscribe to this show on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher so as to never miss an episode.
If by chance you did miss an episode here or there, you can catch up on all shows, past and present, by heading over to yogispodcastnetwork.com/TNR show. Thanks for listening.